It is me, Bunny Rabbit Lives, and I will be reading chapter 10 of The Last Unicorn a little later. Don't worry about the cough, I just had some caramel, so yeah. My voice is gonna be fine, but my throat is gonna be a little like chicolosa because, you know, caramel, the things it does. Again, I'm trying to be quiet, but did y'all know that on YouTube, when you do a live stream, right before you start, there's like little squares on your little emote or whatever for your profile, and it lights up green. You don't? Yes, I do, because our neighbors are fucking crazy. Okay, they're crazy. So they're gonna start slamming stuff all around, acting like I'm saying the most grotesque things. I'm like, brother, please, please, let me stream. But yes, you'll deal with it. How about no? I mean, as long as it's a little sassy, I guess. Because I was sassy with them once, just a little bit. Because they were like, okay, so you know how I play music when I shower? I was playing it just when I shower, right? I tried to not put my music above like medium level, and so they were like slamming all over the wall in the restroom, like trying to get me to lower. I'm like, bro, I'm showering. I'm trying to have a good time. But yes, basically. Basically what I did, because I used to love mindless self-indulgence, right? I started playing the old bangers, right? I was like, throw it back. So yeah, I was like, if you're gonna get mad about music, get mad about this kind of music, not that kind, okay? You were listening to the um reggaeton, right? So like it's like hip bumping, stuff like that. Um, mindless self-indulgence is like um obscenities, cursing, um slurs is bad, okay? But hey, the beat is there, okay? I'm all about the beat, guys. The beat, the beat, dance to the beat. Eh. No, but yeah. Um, that is why I am whispering, guys, because I don't want to get in trouble and I don't want any issues, okay? I was already petty. I don't need to go back. Okay? I'm trying to be better, okay? Do not condone me. By the way, guys, stay hydrated, okay? Don't forget to drink your teas, water, sodas, whatever. But yeah, I can be very petty, guys. But it depends on how I feel when I wake up, okay, guys? I'm a bunny, but I'm a little volatile, okay? Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna chill, relax. And other times I'm just like, you know what? Violence. Today is the day for violence. What are you playing? So today, I am not playing any games. Today I am reading The Last Unicorn, chapter 10. Hi, by the way, Say Gaming. If you want to see gaming videos, let me know, because that was my primary content before I decided to do reading streams. But because when I stream games, I can't stream with my face, with my avatar. See how you see me moving right now? You can't see me moving if I stream video games because I don't have a PC or a capture card. So I'm doing everything on my phone right now. I have two phones. I am streaming reality on one and having the chat open on another. That is how I am able to communicate with y'all. But say gaming, If y'all want me to do gaming streams, y'all can't see me moving and chatting like this. But if y'all are fine with just chatting and reading streams, then y'all can see me moving around like this. So yeah. And so let me know what y'all like best, because I don't have an issue going back to gaming. The thing is, I've already started some games, okay? And you know what? I know I said I wasn't gonna get any more games, but guess what? You live and you learn. Hey! Wait, I think I have an emote like that. Wait. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna find it. I think I have one, but I don't think so at the same time. Um, I might only have it on a different stream thing. There you go. Wait, I don't think this is the right one. Wait. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna stand up. I gotta find the emote. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah. No. This is not the one. Hold on. I'm trying to find the finger guns, but I don't think I have it. I mean, this is the closest I can think. Oh, if you're asking what I'm playing, I'm not playing anything. I'm using an app called Reality, and I cannot find the finger guns. So, yeah. Oh my God. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna sit down. I ain't a great dancer, okay? If I was a great dancer, I'd be living there. You know, remember that one stream, My Little Nightmares, where I was like, you need to become a dancer or whatever. You know what? That's why I'm not a dancer. That's why. 'Cause I wasn't built for it. But you know what? It's okay. We can dance sometimes, okay? Very badly, but we can do it sometimes. And oh, thank you for the reactions. Yay. But we're almost done with this book, by the way, guys. I have work, so the next time I will stream will probably be a surprise, right? It's just because yeah, my schedule is not fixed. So I don't know when I will be able to come back and like stream for y'all unless I get the days off, right? Because if I work at night, I get out of work exhausted since it's a very physically heavy hard labor job where you have to constantly be running around, um lifting dogs up, pulling them, carrying them. There they go, slamming things. Gee, what am I talking about, right? What I tell y'all? They're crazy. That is why I whisper, guys. But yeah. Oh, that's my baby. That's my Tamagotchi. He's asleep. But yes. I don't know if y'all can hear the slamming going on underneath me, but I am trying my best to like, you know, whisper. I think it's actually, I'm gonna pretend it's not happening, right? Let's pretend the door is just really loud. Right? Because our door is really loud too, I think. I assume. I'm thinking like we have thin paper walls and floors, okay? Um, I'm trying my best to be quiet, okay? And two. So that's what I was gonna say. All right. But thank you for stopping by and thank you for chatting. I will now be writing on the chat what game, my bad, what book we're gonna be reading. So here we go. Um, Hi Siri, how are you doing? Rawr. Rawr back. Hey. Um, how are y'all doing? Sorry guys, I'm trying to like write on the chat. There you go. Good, how are you? I'm doing great. I am ready, you know, to entertain y'all in one way or another. You know what? I have no issues with roaring, okay? I used to do it a lot when I was younger. But I'm good. Just I was just chatting about the situation with the neighbors, but actually I'm just gonna assume that the walls are paper thin and the floors are too. Um I am not trying to have any issues, so I am trying my best to be quiet. But yeah. And so, with that being said, I hope that y'all like fantasy books, and I hope that y'all have caught up. The playlist is linked in my community tab for those of y'all who would like to catch up with everybody. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask now or at the end of the chapter, because I will only be reading one chapter at a time. Especially in this book, they're pretty long. And I think I read kind of slow, but I could also be mistaken since I talk, I believe, pretty fast. I don't know. I don't know, okay? You tell me. You be the judge. Eh. But yeah, if you like what you see, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And only if you truly believe you're gonna like the content you see, okay? Only if you will truly enjoy what you see. Okay? I will start reading the chapter in one, two, three, and what can I do for you? Prince Lur asked. Nothing very much just now, Molly said. The water was all I needed, unless you want to peel the potatoes, which would be all right with me. Wait, you said hold? Hold what? Wait. I'll start. Okay. What does your question say, gaming? Because I just started. I just read like 3 sentences of this chapter. I am holding for 1, 2, 3, and I start, I guess. What do you want me to hold? I'm holding on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hold. Hold what? Hold the book? I am holding the book. See? Eh. Book ASMR. Ah. I just told you. Wait, hold what? Lost? No, you didn't. I think YouTube ate your comment. But you, Ravensphere also said hold. Hold what? I am confusion. Alright, I will start because I am confused. You know. Hold what? No, no, I don't. If y'all don't tell me what to hold on to, I can't hold on. I am holding my hands together, okay? Hold on, let me see. What is something else I can hold? My finger to my lips. Shh. Just kidding. I do not know what to hold, guys. Okay, I'm gonna start reading now. 1, 2, 3. I'm starting reading now. And go. What can I do for you, Prince Lur? Asked. Nothing very much just now, Molly Grew said. The water was all I needed, unless you want to peel the potatoes, which would be all right with me. What'd you say? Brother, hold on. You said hold, and then I said hold what? And you said I just told you. And then I see how I didn't read what? So you didn't tell me what? You told me hold, that's all you said. You didn't say hold what? Alright, I'm starting now. 1, 2, 3, and go. Okay, this is chapter 10 of The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. What can I do for you? Prince Lur asked. Nothing very much just now, Molly Grew said. The water was all I needed, unless you want to peel the potatoes, which would be all right with me. No, I didn't mean that. I mean, yes, I will if you want me to. But I was talking to her. I mean, when I talk to her, that's what I keep asking. Sit down and peel me a few potatoes, Molly said. It'll give you something to do with your hands. They were in the scullery, a dank little room smelling strongly of rotting turnips and fermenting beets. A dozen earthenware dishes were piled in one corner, and a very small fire was shivering under a tripod, trying to boil a large pot of grey water. Ugh, grey water. Molly sat at a rude table, which was covered with potatoes, leeks, onions, peppers, carrots, and other vegetables, most of them limp and spotty. Prince Lur stood before her, rocking slowly along his feet and twisting his big, soft fingers together. I killed another dragon this morning, he said presently. That's nice, Molly answered. That's fine. How many does that make now? 5. This one was smaller than the others, but it really gave me more trouble. I couldn't get near it on foot, so I had to go in with the lance, and my horse got pretty badly burned. It was funny about the horse. Molly interrupted him. Sit down, Your Highness, and stop doing that. I start to twitch all over just watching you. Oh my god. Prince Lur sat down opposite her. He drew a dagger from his belt and moodily began peeling potatoes. Molly regarded him with a slight, slow smile. I brought her the head, he said. She was in her chamber, as she usually is. I dragged that head all the way up the stairs to lay it at her feet. He sighed, and nicked his finger with a dagger. Damn, I didn't mind that. All the way up the stairs it was a dragon's head, the proudest gift anyone can give anyone. But when she looked at it, suddenly it became a sad, battered mess of scales and horns, gristly tongue, bloody eyes. Mm, you're going on timeout. Bye bye. Hello, SCP. How are you doing? I will continue reading. I felt like some country butcher who had brought his lassie a nice chunk of fresh meat as a token of his love. And then she looked at me, and I was sorry I had killed the thing. Sorry for killing a dragon. He slashed at a rubbery potato and wounded himself again. Get away from yourself, not toward, Molly advised him. You know, I really think you could stop slaying dragons for the Lady Amalanthea. If 5 of them haven't moved her, 1 more isn't likely to do it. Try something else. But what's left on Earth that I haven't tried? Prince Lur demanded. I have swum 4 rivers, each in full flood, and none less than a mile wide. I have climbed 7 mountains never before climbed, slept 3 nights in the marsh of the Hanged Man, and walked alive out of that forest where the flowers burn your eyes and the night gales sing poison. I have ended my betrothal to the princess I had agreed to marry. And if you don't think that was a heroic deed, you don't know her mother. I have vanquished exactly 15 black knights waiting by 15 fords in their black pavilions, challenging all who came to cross, and I have long since lost count of the witches in the thorny woods, the giants, the demons disguised as damsels, the glass hills, fatal riddles, and terrible tasks, the magic apples, rings, lamps, potions, swords, cloaks, boots, neckties, and nightcaps. Not to mention the winged horses, the basilisks and sea serpents, and all the rest of the livestock. He raised his head, and the dark blue eyes were confused and sad. All for nothing, he said. I cannot touch her, whatever I do. For her sake, I have become a hero. I, Sleepy Lur, my father's sport and shame. But I might just as well have remained the dull fool I was. My great deeds mean nothing to her. Molly took up her own knife and began to slice the peppers. Then perhaps the Lady Amalanthea is not to be won by great deeds. The prince stared at her, frowning in puzzlement. Is there another way to win a maiden? He asked earnestly. Molly, do you know another way? Will you tell it to me? He leaned across the table to seize her hand. Oh, I knew it. I knew he liked her, guys. I like being brave well enough, but I will be a lazy coward again if you think that would be better. The sight of her makes me want to do battle with all evil and ugliness, but it also makes me want to sit still and be unhappy. What should I do, Molly? I don't know, she said, suddenly embarrassed. Kindness, courtesy, good works, that sort of thing. A good sense of humor. She's a wingman. A small copper and ashes cat with a crooked ear jumped into her lap, purring thunderously and leaning against her hand. Hoping to change the subject, she asked, What about your horse? What was funny? But Prince Lura was staring at the little cat with the crooked ear. Where did he come from? Is he yours? No, Molly said. I just feed him and hold him sometimes. She stroked the cat's thin throat, and it closed its eyes. I thought he lived here. The prince shook his head. My father hates cats. He says that there is no such thing as a cat. It is just a shape that all manner of imps, hobs, and devilkins like to put on, to gain easy entrance into the homes of men. He would kill it if he knew you had it here. Oh, hell no. He better not. Hi, Joseph. How are you doing? I'm in the middle of reading, sorry. you had it here. What about the horse? Asked Molly. Prince Lurf's face grew glum again. What a. That was strange. When she took no delight in the grief itself, I thought she might be interested to hear how it was won. So I told her about the view and the charge. You know, about the hissing and the naked wings and the way dragons smell, especially on a rainy morning, and the way the black blood jumped at the point of my lance. But she heard none of it, not a word, until I spoke of the rush of fire that nearly burned my poor horse's legs from under him. Then, then she came back from wherever she goes when I talk to her, and she said that she must go and see my horse. So I led her to the stable, where the poor brute stood crying with the pain. Oh, and she put her hand on him, on his legs, and he stopped moaning. That's a terrible sound they make when they're really hurt. When they stop, it's like a song. Glad to hear you're good. The prince's dagger lay glittering among the potatoes. Outside, great gusts of rain growled around and around the castle walls, but those in the scullery could only hear it, for there was not a single window in the cold room, nor was there any light, except for the meager glow of the cooking fire. It made the cat dozing in Molly's lap look like a heap of autumn leaves. I am reading. The pinned comment says it. And what happened then? She asked. When the Lady Emelindia touched your horse? Nothing happened. Nothing at all. Prince Lur suddenly seemed to become angry. He slammed his hand down on the table, and leeks and lentils leaped in all directions. Did you expect something to happen? She did. Oh, did you expect something to happen? She did. Did you expect the beast's burns to heal on the instant? The crackling skin to knit? The black flesh to be whole again? She did. By my hope of her, I swear it. And when his legs didn't grow well under her hand, then she ran away. I don't know where she is now. His voice softened as he spoke, and the hand on the table curled sadly on its side. He rose and went to look into the pot over the fire. It's boiling, he said. If you want to put the vegetables in. She wept when my horse's legs did not heal. I heard her weeping, and yet there were no tears in her eyes when she ran away. Everything else was there, but no tears. Oh. Molly put the cat gently on the floor and began gathering the venerable vegetables for the pot. Prince Slur watched her as she moved back and forth around the table and across the dewy floor. She was singing. If I danced with my feet as I dance in my dreaming, as graceful and gleaming as death in disguise, oh, that would be sweet, but then would I hunger to be 10 years younger, or wedded or wise. The prince said, Who is she, Molly? What kind of woman is it who believes, who knows? For I saw her face, that she can cure wounds with a touch, and who weeps without tears. Molly went on about her work, still humming to herself. Any woman can weep without tears, she answered over her shoulder. At most can heal with their hands. It depends on the wound. She's a woman, your highness, and that's riddle enough. But the prince stood up to bar her way, and she stopped, her apron full of herbs and her hair trailing into her eyes. Prince Lur's face bent toward her. Older by 5 dragons, but handsome and still silly. And silly still, he said, You sing. My father sets you to the weariest work there is to do, and you still sing. There has never been singing in this castle, or cats, or the smell of good cooking. It is the Lady Amalynthia who causes this, as she causes me to ride out in the morning seeking danger. I always, of I was always a fair cook, Molly said mildly. Living in the greenwood with Cully and his men for 17 years, Princeler continued as though she had not spoken. I want to serve her, as you do, to help her find whatever she has come here to find. I wish to be whatever she has most need of. Tell her so. Will you tell her so? Even as he spoke, a soulless step sounded in his eyes, and the sigh of saddened groan troubled his face. And the sigh of a sudden groan troubled his face. The Lady Amalynthia stood in the doorway. Hi! Hello! Hello, everyone! I'm sorry, I am reading. A season in King Haggard's chill domain. Wait, what? Oh, the Lady Amalynthia stood in the doorway. A season in King Haggard's chill domain had not dimmed or darkened her. Rather, the winter had sharpened her beauty until it invaded the beholder like a barbed arrow that could not be withdrawn. Her white hair was caught up with a blue ribbon, and her gown was lilac. It did not fit her well. Molly Grew was an indifferent seamstress, and satin made her nervous. But the Lady Amalynthia seemed more lovely for the poor work, for the cold stones and the smell of turnips. There was rain in her hair. Princeler bowed to her, a quick, crooked bow, as though someone had hit him in the stomach. My lady, he mumbled, you really should cover your head when you go out this weather. The Lady Amalynthia sat down at the table, and the little autumn-colored cat immediately sprang up before her, purring swiftly and very softly. She put out her hand, but the cat slid away, still purring. He did not appear frightened, but he would not let her touch his rusty fur. The Lady Amalynthia beckoned, and the cat wriggled all over, like a dog. But he would not come near. Princeler said hoarsely, I must go. There is an ogre of some sort devouring village maidens 2 days' ride from here. It is said that he can be slain only by one who wields the great axe of Duke Alban. Unfortunately, Duke Alban himself was one of the first consumed. He was dressed as a village maiden at the time, to deceive the monster, and there is little doubt who holds the great axe now. If I do not return, think of me. Farewell. Farewell, your highness, Molly said. The prince bowed again, and left the scullery on his noble errand. He looked back only once. Hi. You are cruel to him, Molly said. The Lady Amalynthia did not look up. She was offering her open palm to the crook-eared cat. But he stayed where he was, shivering with a desire to go to her. Cruel? She asked. How can I be cruel? That is for mortals. But then she did raise her eyes, and they were great with sorrow, and with something very near to mockery. She said, So is kindness. Molly Grew busied herself with the cooking pot, stirring the soup and seasoning it. Bustling numbly in a low voice, she remarked, You might have given him a gentle word, at the very least. He has undergone mighty trials for you. But what word shall I speak? Asked the Lady Amalynthia. I have said nothing to him, yet every day he comes to me with more heads, more horns, and hides and tails, more enchanted jewels and bewitched weapons. What will he do if I speak? Molly said, He wishes you think. He wishes you to think of him. Knights and princesses know only one way to be remembered. It's not his fault. I think he does very well. The Lady Malentia turned her eyes to the cat again. Her long fingers twisted at a seam of the satin gown. No, he does not want my thoughts, she said softly. He wants me, as much as the Red Bull did, and with no more understanding. But he frightens me even more than the Red Bull, because he has a kind heart. No, I will never speak a promising word to him. A pale mark on her brow was invisible in the gloom of the scullery. She touched it and then drew her hand away quickly, as though the mark hurt her. The horse died, she said to the little cat. I could do nothing. Molly turned quickly and put her hands on the Lady Amalinthia's shoulders. Beneath the sleek cloth, the flesh was cold and hard as any stone of King Haggard's castle. Oh, my lady, she whispered, that is because you are out of your true form. When you regain yourself, it will all return. All your power, all your strength, all your sureness. It will come back to you. Had she dared, she would have taken the white girl in her arms and lulled her like a child. She had never dreamed of such a thing before. But the Lady Amalinthia answered, the magician gave me only the semblance of a human being. The seeming, but not the spirit. If I had died then, I would still have been a unicorn. The old man knew, the wizard. He said nothing, to spite Haggard, but he knew. Of itself, her hair escaped the blue ribbon and came hurrying down her neck and over her shoulders. The cat was all but won by this eagerness. He lifted a paw to play with it, but then he drew back once more and sat on his haunches, tail curled around his front feet, queer head to the side. His eyes were green, speckled with gold. But that was long ago, the girl said. Now I am two, myself and this other that you call my lady. For she is here as truly as I am now, though once she was only a veil over me. She walks in the castle, she sleeps, she dresses herself, she takes her meals, and she thinks her own thoughts. If she has no power to heal or to quiet, still she has another magic. Men speak to her, saying Lady Amalinthia, and she answers them, or she does not answer. The king is always watching her out of his pale eyes, wondering what she is, and the king's son wounds himself with loving her, and wonders who she is. And every day she searches the sea and the sky, the castle and the courtyard, to keep the keep and the king's face, for something she cannot always remember. What is it? What is it that she is seeking in this strange place? She knew a moment ago, but she has forgotten. She turned her face to Molly Grew, and her eyes were not the unicorn's eyes. They were lovely still, but in a way that had a name, as a human woman is beautiful. Their depths could be sounded and learned, and their degree of darkness was quite describable. Molly saw fear and loss and bewilderment when she looked into them, and herself, and nothing more. Unicorns, she said. The Red Bull has driven them all away, all but you. Oh, wait, wrong voice. Unicorns, she said. The Red Bull has driven them all away, all but you. You are the last unicorn. You came here to find the others, and you set them free, and to set them free. And so you will. Slowly the deep secret sea turned to the Lady Amalinthia's eyes. Slowly the deep secret sea returned to the Lady Amalinthia's eyes, filling them until they were as old and dark as and unknowable and indescribable as the sea. Molly watched it happen and was afraid, but she gripped the bowed shoulders even more tightly, as though her hands could draw despair like a lightning rod. And as she did so, there shivered in the scullery floor a sound she had heard before, a sound like great teeth, molars grinding together. The Red Bull was turning in his sleep. I wonder if he dreams, Molly thought. The Lady Molentia said, I must go to him. There is no other way, and no time to spare. In this form or my own, I must face him again, even if all my people are dead and there is nothing to be saved. I must go to him before I forget myself forever. But I do not know the way, and I am lonely. The little cat switched his tail and made an odd sound that was neither a meow or a purr. I will go with you, Molly said. I do not know the way down to the bowl either, but there must be one. Schmerdrick will come too. He'll make the way for us if we can't find it. I hope for no help from the magician, the Lady Molenthi replied disdainfully. I see him every day playing the fool for King Haggard, amusing him by his failures, by blundering at even the most trifling trick. He says that it is all he can do until his power speaks in him again. But it never will. He's no magician now, but the king's clown. Molly's face suddenly hurt her, and she turned away to inspect the soup again. Whispering past a sharpness in her throat, she said, He's doing it for you. While you brood and mope and become someone else, he digs and jests for Haggard, diverting him so that you may have time to find your folk. If they are to be found, but it cannot be long before the king tires of him, as he tires of all things, and casts him down to his dungeons or some place darker. You do wrong to mock him. Her voice was a child's thin, sad mumble. She said, But that will never happen to you. Everyone loves you. They had a moment to look at each other, the two women, the one fair and foreign in the cold, low room, the other appearing quite at home in such surroundings. An angry little beetle with her own kitchen beauty. Then they heard boots scraping, armor clicking, and the gusty voices of old men. King Haggard's foremen at arms come trooping into the scullery. They were all at least 70 years old, gaunt and limping, fragile as crusted snow, but all clad from head to foot in King Haggard's miserly mail, and bearing his wry weapons. They entered hailing Molly Grew cheerfully, and asking what she had made for their supper. But at the sight of the Lady Amelinthia, all four became very quiet and bowed deep bows that made them gasp. My lady, said the oldest of the men, command your servants. We are spent men. But if you would see miracles, you have only to request the impossible of us. We will become young again, if you wish it so. His three comrades muttered their agreement, but the Lady Amelinthia whispered in answer, No, you will never be young again. Then she fled from them, with her wild, blinding hair hiding her face, and the satin gown hissing. How wise she is, the oldest man at arms declared. She understands that not even her beauty can do battle with time. It is a rare, sad wisdom for one so young. That soup smells delicious, Molly. It smells too savory for this place, a second man grumbled as they all sat down around the table. Haggard hates good food. He says that no meal is good enough to justify all the money and effort wasted in preparing it. It is an illusion, he, and an expense. Live as I do, undeceived. Brah! He shuddered and grimaced, and the others laughed. To live like Haggard, said another man at arms as Molly spooned the steaming soup into his bowl. That will be my fate in the next world, if I don't behave myself in this one. Why do you stay in his service, then? Molly demanded. She sat down with them and rested her chin on her hands. He pays you no wages, she said, and he feeds you as little as he dares. He sends you out in the worst weather to steal for him in Hagsgate, for he never spends a penny of the wealth in his strong room. He forbids everything from lights to lutes, from fires to fairs, and singing to sinning. From books and beer and talk of spring to games you play with bits of string. Why not leave him? What in the world is there to keep you here? The four old men looked nervously at one another, coughing and sighing. The first said, It is our age. Where else could we go? We are too old to be wandering the roads, looking for work and shelter. It is our age, said the second man at arms. When you are old, anything that does not disturb you is a comfort. Cold and darkness and boredom long ago lost their sharp edges for us. But warmth, singing, spring? No, they would all be disturbances. There are worse things than living like Haggard. The third man said, Haggard is older than we are. In time Prince Lur will be king in this country, and I will not leave the world until I have seen that day. I have always been fond of the boy since he was small. Molly found that she was not hungry. She looked around at the faces of the old men and listened to the sounds their seamy lips and shrunken throats made as they drank her soup. And she was suddenly glad that King Haggard always had his meals alone. Molly inevitably came to care for anyone she fed. Cautiously she asked them, Have you ever heard a tale that Prince Lur is not Haggard's adopted nephew at all? The man at arms showed no surprise at the question. Eh, the eldest replied, we know that story. It may well be true, for the prince certainly bears no family resemblance to the king. But what of it? Better a stolen stranger ruled the land than a true son of King Haggard. But if the prince was stolen from Hagsgate, Molly cried, then he is the man who will make the curse on this castle come true. And she repeated the rhyme that the man Drin had recited in the inn at Hagsgate. Yet none but one of Hagsgate town may bring the castle swirling down. But the old men shook their heads, grinning, with teeth as rusty as their casques and corselets. Not Prince Lur, the third man said. The prince may slay 1,000 dragons, but he will level no castles, overthrow no kings. It is not in his nature. He is a dutiful son who seeks a lass only to be worthy of the man he calls his father. Not Prince Lur. The rhyme must speak of some other. And even if Prince Lur were the one, the second man added, even if the curse had marked him for its messenger, still he would fail. For between King Haggard and any doom stands the Red Bull. A silence sprang into the room and stood there, darkening all faces with its savage shadow, and chilling the good hot soup with its breath. The little autumn cat. Stopped purring on Molly's lap, and the thin cooking fire cowered down. The cold scullery walls seemed to draw closer together. The four men at arms who had not spoken before called across the dark to Molly Grew. There is true reason that we stay in Haggard's employ. He does not wish us to leave, and what King Haggard wishes, or does not wish, is the only concern of the Red Bull. We are Haggard's minions, but we are the Red Bull's prisoners. Molly's hand was steady as she stroked the cat, but her voice was pinched and dry when she spoke. What is the Red Bull to King Haggard? It was the oldest man at arms who answered. We do not know. The bull has always been here. It serves Haggard and his army, but his bulwark. It is his strength and the source of his strength. And it must be his one companion as well, for I am sure he descends to its lair betimes, down some secret stair. But whether it obeys Haggard from choice or compulsion, and whether the bull or the king is the master, that we have never known. The fourth man, who was the youngest, leaned toward Molly Grew, his pink, wet eyes suddenly eager. He said, The Red Bull is a demon, and its reckoning for attending Haggard will one day be Haggard himself. Another man interrupted him, insisting that the clearest evidence showed that the bull was King Haggard's enchanted slave, and would be until it broke the bewitchment that held it and destroyed its former lord. They began to shout and spill their soup, but Molly asked, not loudly, but in a way that made them all be still. Do you know what a unicorn is? Have you ever seen one? Of everything alive in the little room, only the cat and the silence seemed to look back at her with any understanding. The four men blinked and blenched and rubbed their eyes, deep, restless. The sleeping bull stirred again. The meal being over, the men at arms saluted Molly Grew and left the scullery, two for their beds, two to take up their night's vigil in the rain. The oldest of the men waited until the others were gone before he said quietly to Molly, Be careful of the Lady Amalynthia. When she first came here, her beauty was such that even this accursed castle became beautiful too, like the moon, which is only a shining stone. But she has been here too long. Now she is as beautiful as ever, but the rooms and roofs that contain her are somehow meaner for her presence. He gave a long sigh, which frayed into a whine. I am familiar with that kind of beauty, he said, but I had never seen that other sort before. Be careful of her. She should go away from here. Alone, Molly put her face in the little cat's random fur. The cooking fire fluttered low, but she did not get up to feed it. Small, swift creatures scuttled across the room, making a sound like King Haggard's voice, and the rain rumbled against the castle walls, sounding like the Red Bull. Then, as though in answer, she heard the bull. Babe, they're gonna hear me. What are you doing? Oh my, sorry guys. Sorry, I'll continue. His bellows shattered the stones under her feet, and she clutched desperately at the table to keep herself and the cat from plunging down to him. She cried out. The cat said, He's going out. He goes out every sundown to hunt for the strange white beast that escaped him. You know that perfectly well. Don't be stupid. The hungering roar came again, farther away. Molly caught her breath and stared at the little cat. She was not as amazed as another might have been. These days, she was harder to surprise than most women. Could you always talk? She asked the cat. Or was it the sight of the Lady Amalynthia that gave you speech? The cat licked a front paw reflectively. It was the sight of her that made me feel like talking, he said at length, and let us leave it at that. So that is a unicorn. She is very beautiful. How do you know she's a unicorn? Molly demanded. And why were you afraid to let her touch you? I saw you. You were afraid of her. I doubt that I will feel like talking for very long, the cat replied without rancor. I would not waste time in foolishness if I were you. As to your first question, No cat out of its first fur can ever be deceived by appearances, unlike human beings who enjoy them. As for your second question, here he faltered and suddenly became very interested in washing. Nor would he speak until he had licked himself fluffy and then licked himself smooth again. Even then, he would not look at Molly, but examined his claws. If she had touched me, he said very softly, I would have been hers and not my own. Not ever again. I wanted her to touch me, but I could not let her. No cat will. We let human beings caress us because it is pleasant enough and calms them, but not her. The price is more than a cat can pay. Molly picked him up, then, and he purred into her neck for such a long while that she began to fear that his moment of speech had passed. But presently he said, You have very little time. Soon she will no longer remember who she is, or why she came to this place, and the Red Bull will no longer roar in the night for her. It may be that she will marry the good prince who loves her. The cat pushed his head hard into Molly's suddenly still hand. Do that, he commanded. The prince is very brave to love a unicorn. A cat can appreciate valiant absurdity. No, Molly Grew said. No, that cannot be. She's the last. Well then, she must do what she came to do, the cat replied. She must take the king's way down to the bull. Molly held him so fiercely that he gave a mouse-like squeak of protest. Do you know the way? She asked, as eagerly as Prince Lure had demanded of her. Tell me the way. Tell me where we must go. She put the cat down on the table and took her hands off him. The cat made no answer for a long time, but his eyes grew brighter and brighter, gold shivering down the cover of green, his crooked ear twitching, and the black tip of his tail, and nothing more. When the wine drinks itself, he said, when the skull speaks, when the clock strikes the right time, only then will you find the tunnel that leads to the Red Bull's lair. He tucked his paws under his chest and added, There's a trick to it, of course. I'll bet, Molly said grimly. There is a horrible, crumbly old skull stuck up high on a pillar in the great hall, but it hasn't had anything to say for some time. The clock that stands nearby is mad, and strikes when it pleases. Midnight every hour, 17 o'clock at 4. Or perhaps not a sound for a week. And the wine? Oh, cat, wouldn't it be simpler just to show me the tunnel? You know where it is, don't you? Of course I know, answered the cat, with a glinting, curling yawn. Of course it would be simpler for me to show you. Save a lot of time and trouble. His voice was becoming a sleepy drawl, and Molly realized that King Haggard himself, like King Haggard himself, he was losing interest. Quickly, she asked him, Tell me one thing, then. What became of unicorns? Where are they? The cat yawned again. Near and far, far and near, he murmured. They are within sight of your lady's eyes, but almost out of reach of her memory. They are coming closer, and they are going away. He closed his eyes. Molly's breath came like rope, fretting against her harsh throat. Damn you! Why won't you help me? She cried. Why must you always speak in riddles? One eye opened slowly, green and gold as sunlight in the woods. The cat said, I am what I am. I would tell you what you want to know if I could, for you have been kind to me. But I am a cat, and no cat anywhere ever gave anyone a straight answer. His last few words drowsed away into a deep, regular purr, and he was asleep, with the one eye partly open. Molly held him on her lap and stroked him, and he purred in his sleep, but he did not speak again. I am back. Hey, guys, what do you think about this chapter? Oh my god, I love the cat, for sure. I like the sassiness he had, the riddles and stuff. I was like, ooh, very, very interesting. Kind of like Alice in Wonderland inspired, I believe. Like, I mean, not inspired by it, but like, it gave those vibes. But I don't know which came first, if Alice in Wonderland or The Last Unicorn. Let me see. I'm gonna see what I missed, guys. Hey, Manon, hello. Thank you for subbing and liking. Really appreciate it. Hello, Connor. Or Japan. Since your name is Japan. Hello, Japan. Are we allowed to spam? I don't know if you're allowed to spam. But, thanks, I guess. And Gwen, hello. Have I watched the Angry Birds movie too? I have not. I have not seen any of the Angry Birds movies. What is IL-62? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And also, I don't think I will pronounce your name because it looks kind of hard. Deli, hello, hi. Yo, mama. Hey, how you doing? Hello. I'm just going to be lurking in the background like an Pokemon because I like to Pikachu. A nice joke. Welcome back, Riley. How are you doing? I'm going to scroll down. I'll be back. Oh, welcome back. Another streamer was putting rubber bands around a milk carton and it exploded and got in his eyes. Oh, that is very odd, Riley. But hey, as long as his eyeballs are okay, you know? Hi, Fia. Is that how you pronounce it? Or is it Pia? Like, the character in Room Factory 3? Pia? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I find stuff like that like a little like, whoa. I could not because I'm scared of explosions. Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. What are the kind of things you enjoy watching? I really like watching commentary videos about the state of the world right now, or especially like video games or even movies. For me, for example, I really like monster romances, but I'm not talking about like girl monsters. I'm talking guy monsters. So yeah. I don't know if that if other people are into that as well, but I am. I like me some monster people, okay? um but honestly, I watched, oh, I don't think I told y'all. I watched I Am Dragon, and it's actually like, I don't remember if it's either like a Russian or a German movie, but it's it's a very good movie about this girl who okay, so they're in this small country or city or whatever, and they do like rituals where they sacrifice brides for a dragon, and every time one of them is sacrificed, the way a new dragon is born is by burning the brides, right? But then they so-called killed him, but you know, years later they have a similar ritual to commemorate the guy who so-called killed the dragon, right? His son. And so when his son played it, asked for them to play that ritual song, the dragon showed up and took her. So apparently the dragon did not get taken out. And then so after that, like, I'm not gonna say anything else because it's a really good movie and I would really not want to spoil it for y'all. But honestly, it's one of my favorites. I just don't think I would be able to get it physically ever unless I find a copy of it randomly somewhere. Just because it is on Tubi for free right now, I think. And I don't know, like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was very nice. I also like Girl Interrupted. Girl Interrupted is about this woman who is having like a life crisis, right? And she's like, she almost, trigger warning, whatever, tries to end it all, right? And then she gets sent to an asylum for, like, or like the grippy sock place or whatever. And then she makes friends there, but then she was fine, right? But suddenly she starts going like crazier as she lives there, right? But I won't spoil anything else of that. Very drama, like a lot of drama in that one. Very interesting movie. But definitely, if you're younger, on the younger side, don't watch it. If you're on the older side, you could watch it, or if your parents let you, I guess. But I wouldn't let my kids if I had any. Um, what else? What other movies have I seen that I really liked? There's been a lot of movies. I don't know. I really enjoyed different kinds of movies and stuff. Did y'all know that all the Cartoon Network, well, not all, I don't know if all, but a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff is for free on, what's it called? On Tubi right now. They have Teen Titans, the original. They have, Powerpuff Girls. They have Dexter's Laboratory. They have, Foster's House of Imaginary Friends or something like that. Like, they have a lot of stuff, and it's like good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I ship Starfire and Robin, and then Beast Boy and Raven. Yes, best chip ever. But anyways, yeah. Hello, Beanie. Hi. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Yay. What about you, Beanie? What kind of movies do you like? I need more recommendations. I haven't been able to like see many new things because right now I'm really addicted to trying to finish my games and A? What does that mean? What do you mean A? A But yeah, right now I'm playing like not right now, but like in this time I am playing a I am playing Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, and it's pretty enjoyable. I feel like the day goes by really quickly in that game though. Mm, I watched How to Train Your Dragon, the in real life one. Yeah, that one's really good. We own the Blu-ray for that one. It's really good. It's very close to the animated one, but I definitely enjoyed the animated one better because it had more cute scenes between the dragons, especially the tiny dragons where, he gets them used to liking him with a little thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the in real life one is you like the in real life one better? Okay. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it better. It's fine. We can all have our opinions. I like them both. You died and you came back. Hey, that's what we all do, right? That's what all the bunnies do. We live, we die, and then we come back. Yup. This bunny rabbit lives, is immortal, and so are my bunnies. Eh. Hell yeah. We always come back. Hell yeah. Say hey to death. Because I played a lot of games in my life, I died and I came back. Y'all remember what I said? I take hits, block. Okay, I take hits and die. I don't block, I don't dodge. I take hits and die. Like trap. What is string trap? 6, 7. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Oh, that sounds so bad coming out of my mouth. Oh, it's because, like, me. Okay, so I have this coworker. and she's like on the older side, and she has kids, right? So she'll go like 6 8, right? And I'll copy her so that she doesn't feel like alone. But it sounds so weird coming out of my mouth. Gee. Oh, from FNAF. I actually don't remember much about FNAF, even though I really watched a lot of Markiplier and PewDiePie when I was younger. Do y'all remember Cryotic? Ugh, what happened with him was crazy. Ugh, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a real story. I sure. Wait. I don't know how it's real, but I don't know because me, I don't know. If I were to think anything is real, it would probably be like the Friday the 13th games. You know what I mean? The Four Missing Children, Bite of 1997. Wait. Wait. Yeah, sorry. That was a weird sound. But the Bite of what was it again? Bite of 19 something. I forgot. I forgot. It's been so long, guys, okay? It's been so long. Actually, somebody asked me to stream that here on the channel. I just haven't never gotten the chance to because games that I'm more interested in have always come out. Oh, Bite of 86 and 87. Okay. I was so wrong. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Um, but also, what's a scary game that y'all enjoy? I really enjoy the Little Nightmares games. I have Little Nightmares 3, but I haven't been able to finish it because, well, it's a multiplayer game and I want to finish it, like, with other people, not with, like, the little fake thing following you around. I was just asking you if you wanted me on your stream. Oh, sorry, I am not accepting any, collabs with people who I don't know very well yet. See, I would like, ideally, if I do have a collab with somebody, I would like to know them, very well and their personalities and their streams, and I have to like their content and they have to like mine, like we have to like mesh in a way so that both our subscribers can be happy with one another. You know what I'm saying? Springtrap's real name is William Adam. Also, by the way, Beanie, I am not streaming on reality. See? I can't do it because last time I tried, it muted me. Springtrap's real name is William Afton. Yeah, I actually, you know what? I really want to see the movie. The FNAF movie. Aren't they bringing out a second one soon? I think the second movie is in the works. What does MNB mean? Okay, look. I'm on the older side. You have to explain. Yes, I think so. Yeah, like and then the guy who plays that guy is the guy who plays Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies. The live action ones. I really like the live action Scooby-Doo movies. Have y'all ever been chased by a chicken? Or have y'all ever played tag with somebody and y'all imagine the Scooby-Doo theme song in the background while you run away? I think it makes it funner, and it also makes you run faster and wackier. Like, I don't know. I When I was a kid, I had a big imagination, okay? Chickens are kind of like they're nice, they're sweet when you're not running. Cuz if you run, they'll be like, "Girl, you're cooked." What is MNB? I'm confused. I am curious. Curioso. Hmm? But yeah, girl. I used to have a chicken when I was a kid. Okay, so have y'all ever had chicken pets? I used to have a black chicken as a pet, right? When I lived in Mexico. And I did not know that chickens could glide or fly. And so I brought my chicken to the second floor and the window was open and she flew away. She flew away, guys. Oh my goodness. But honestly, when I was a kid, it was very hard for me to like form true attachments to things like that because I was still a very what's it called? A very experimental kid. So every time somebody told me don't do that, I would do it to see what would happen. You see, and as a kid, if you explore like that, you might end up, doing some bad stuff that might get you almost, you know what I'm saying? But luckily, guys, I am immortal. I am Bunny Rabbit lives. So I'm still here, still trucking and jumping. Eh. What is that? The way that my chicken flew away? Yeah. But when I was a kid, I couldn't really feel it. I did miss her. I did feel bad after my mom explained to me. She was like, "Girl, she flew away. She's never coming back." And I was like, "No." And then I cried. But at first I was like, "Oh, she's gonna come back." You always think they're gonna come back, but sometimes they don't. And one time, I came home and we ate chicken. And I never saw her again. Oh, the stuff you go through as a kid. Oh, with chickens and stuff. Can you do a face reveal on the stream? No, I cannot, Riley. I like my privacy. The only way that a face reveal could happen if there's a drastic change in my content to where I have to reveal my face in any way to show y'all the content that I want to show y'all. That would be the only way. And then if that is the case, I would try to make it special since it's like a face reveal and stuff. But I would not like I like my privacy. I really would not enjoy doing a face reveal. And also, I don't think I'm a goddess. I think I'm like okay. Like, because some people say, oh yeah, I'm super attractive. Oh my god. No, I'm not gonna say that because we all saw what happened to the odd ones out, okay? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm gonna say, actually, instead of saying that I'm okay, I'm gonna say I'm ugly. And that way, if y'all ever see my face, y'all will be like, she's not that ugly. Or she ain't that bad. Subvert your expectations. Ayo. But yeah. I would never reveal my face. At least not unless I did like a complete change in the way that I like stream and stuff. But with that being said, um I have shown my hands before. So if you look at my streams where you can see my hands, I guess you could see my hands. I mean, I guess. I did like a ASMR video once where my hands are shown. By the way, I can name some FNAF animatronics for you. Are you talking about Chica and what's the name of that teddy bear? I forgot. Cupcake. Wait, I don't know. I don't know all of them, okay? I used to be a fan, then I stopped. It's because like when I was a kid, I was kind of like a what's it called? Kind of like a I would say a cheap. Like I would like see my friends liking something, then I would be like, okay, I'll join in. Just because I was like didn't like to feel left out, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a phase. The only thing that hasn't been a phase for me is probably playing video games. I've always played video games since I was like 8 or less. I think I was 8 when I got my first console. It wasn't actually a console. It was like a handheld. I don't know if that's considered a console, but my first handheld was the Nintendo DS Lite. Oh, good old days, you know what I'm saying? Back when everything was like $20, like I could buy a game each week, guys. That's how cheap things were back then, right? And my Nintendo DS Lite, was the pink one, but without the glitter stuff, right? Without the shiny stuff. And I bought Disney Friends, I think. Disney Magic Friends or something like that on the Nintendo DS Lite because I saw it on a commercial uh when I was a kid. And then they had a what's it called? Sears. That's where I bought my favorite game ever, which is Pokemon Heart Gold. Uh I've not been able to find a good copy for cheap. Actually, I might have found one but without the box, but I can't afford it. It's $159 so far. So yeah, sadly, I can never get my favorite game back. Even though I traded it with somebody to get a game I didn't even like, bro. I'm so regretful about that. Chica, Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, Golden, Freddy. Isn't Bonnie the purple bunny? Guys, be careful what games you trade, by the way. Ugh, you can never see them again. I am so regretful about that. Ah, but it's okay. We move on. We live on. Oh, blue. Interesting. By the way, guys, the book is almost done. The book is almost finished. I knew Prince Lur like the unicorn. I told y'all. I told y'all. I'm smart. Just kidding. We're all smart in our own way. um, Bonnie is blue because of the lighting. Oh, okay. Yeah, color theory, right? Because if you like paint flowers blue and you make the background black, it ends up looking white. So you would make white flowers instead. Mm-hmm. Or the way I think certain colors cancel certain ones out. I think it's blue and something. See, color theory and me don't mix. I like art, but I don't work with color theory. I just wing it. I'm like, you know what? I just want bright colors. That's it. Don't forget to stay hydrated. You drinking water? Mm-hmm. Say yes. Hell yeah. Please. But yeah, guys. We're almost done with this story. And with that being said, Riley and everyone else here, um, thank you for chatting, guys. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for the subscribers. And I gotta hurry up and make that video for the 400 as a special because every time I reach 100 subscribers, like, I reach 100 mark, I try to make it special for y'all. There are shadow ones now? That's crazy. They're adding so much to the FNAF universe, guys. So much. But would y'all like another ASMR video, or would y'all like another thoughts and ideas video, like the Nintendo accessory video? Or I have an idea of a video to make about that, actually. Not relating with accessories, but collector's editions and how lackluster they are nowadays. Oh my gosh, darn, guys. They want to charge us like $80 and y'all don't give us nothing. It's like that TikTok sound. Yay! Yeah, girl, give us nothing. Yes, no, they're done with the game. They're done. So like the series is completely done. The FNAF series. That's crazy. Actually, I have to go to work tomorrow. So, guys, thank you for watching. It's all the time. It's pretty late over here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. I will be ending the stream soon. Yes, they're done updating the game. All the games are just the recent one. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And bye! Y'all stay hydrated. Have a great day or night. Bye bye. Goodbye.